Good morning, America. This is Dr. Turi with another challenging newsletter. This newsletter today is titled, "This Isn't Normal. 20 earthquakes have hit California within the last 24 hours. What's next?" Incidentally, today is the date that I gave, and we are the 17th. So I do not know how more precise it can be as far as timing is concerned. And I do not know what the hell I have to do to be able to reach the scientific community and ally with them. So we may be able to at least give you a location, because my timing is impeccable. And I constantly and very, very efficiently giving you those dates. Now, yesterday I rambled a little bit about my old friend David. And you know what? I'm not going to do the same today, not at length at least, but I have to let you know the reason why I felt this way, and I still feel bad about it. You need to understand again that David and I, we have had a very long relationship for years. Wherever you were in the world, hey, Louis, what's up with this? What's up with that? And every single year I give him and Pam, his wife, Pamela, who lives next door in Sedona, we're still good friends, my books. And my books are all about explaining the spiritual values of the stars. So when he's on stage, you're talking about Saturn, just by accident, I decided to go and, click on that video, and he was talking about Saturn. I said, what the hell is he talking about Saturn? David is not cosmic conscious. Then I realized that he was explaining the spiritual values of the soul of the cosmos involving Saturn, and not only the rational scientific values of the stars like every other UFO talker are doing out there. He was actually explaining the spiritual values of Saturn, not to the great extent that I know how, because I'm fully cosmic conscious. So I realized, oh my God, how stupid have I been all those years to give him all my books. Since 1995, he's been sucking all my wisdom. And now he's on stage explaining the spiritual values of every single of those stars, something I taught him and taught the world since my UFO experiences, who forced me to master Nostradamus' 16th century divine astrology. And now you have David out there. And I don't know how many other people, but that's life. And nowadays with the technology, everybody steals people's stuff. Excuse me. But that's not fair, because he's not the only one. The same applies with another guy. Men are from Mars, Venus, women are from Venus. John Gray, this guy, I remember. I was in, where was I? San Francisco, yes. I was doing a conference there, and here he was. He had a reading with me. He bought all my books, and he bought my course. In fact, he was the only one who was able to afford $1,000 to get my books, my course, and my software. And there you go. The next thing you know, those guys write books, but they never mention who their teacher is. So I think it's very unfair, and that's why I feel really, really bad. Of course, David is going to deny all this, but if you read our email exchange where I confronted him with this, and the reptilians, his understanding of what he called the reptilians, that's what you could see. The way he trashed me literally shows an enormous amount of guilt. He was saying to me, you know what, you idiot, I have been sucking your information for years, and now I'm using it, and I have a position where I can stimulate more people. So he's reaping all the benefit of my nearly 70 years of information on metaphysics and astrology on this planet. That's no fair. And that's why I'm mad. And believe me, he will deny it all. Luckily for me, I have some of those emails But everybody knows the story. If you listen to that YouTube video that I made yesterday, I've explained where we are coming from, and because of Jordan Maxwell, we are who we are today. And the hundreds of thousands of dollars that were given to David when he came here with a limousine and $1 million house and a big fat contract. I had nothing of that because the reptilians are not there to help me. They will always put people in power, especially those who know the list or those that are fulfilling the reptilian's agenda. Why do I say that? Because if you get a compass, it's going to point out north. That's negativity. Okay, and here I am waiting for those cosmic wind induced by the draconics to reclaim what is rightful mine or my intellectual property, all that I went through in my life. And that's okay, because I understand karma and I know there is justice. It's just a matter of time before people realize that everything that he's talking about when it comes to the spiritual values of the cosmic code or the stars is induced by Dr. Turi. Now he had to have his own assault. Well, you know what, the moon is hollow maybe, or there is ETs on the moon. I don't know, because I don't listen to what he's talking about. But I should have all those years. I should have. Excuse me. And then be able to offer you, excuse me, those medication, they affect my throat still. Offer you the truth. And the end of the truth does not necessarily please a lot of people. So now you know. Okay. I want to thank this person here. His name is James Brown. And he wrote to me, Dr. Turi, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for providing the voice of reason and truth, such as was the role of Art Bell for many years. Yes, Art Bell literally launched my career when I went to his show in 1995 and predicted a religious war involving the United States in the Middle East. And that was well before 9/11, the Iraq invasion by the United States, and of course ISIS, so, and Saddam Hussein. So Google Dr. Turi 9/11 and all that good stuff, and you will see that through the stars I predicted all that. And when you have people like David Icke that said 9/11 didn't happen, Sandy Hook did not happen, it's just incredibly offending to all the people who have lost their children. But it cannot retract itself, as I said yesterday. It has to keep lying and adding and inventing himself with whatever. That's what people who have Scorpio in the 8th house of other people, money, and corporate endeavors behave. But you're not exactly cosmic conscious to understand the sentence I just mentioned. But I do understand it, and I know that it's just a rip-off artist, and I'm not the only one to complain. And like all Aries, he's very, very selfish, very self-centered. And instead of the dragon in Leo, make him very, very egocentric. But you know what, the way he treated me in that email, it was obvious that he was feeling very, very guilty. But anyway, it's the story of the past. I know, you know, there is justice out there. So let's keep going here. I'm so upset with this. I just realized after so many years that I gave it all on God's plate to David, and I was using that wisdom and shine. But that's okay. All right, now let's see. I find it vindicating that David has been disseminating propaganda that suits the reptilian elites. Indeed, my friend. Because a lot of these people are being fed negativity because that's how they respond to. They share the same fear, the same stars, the same cosmic identity as David Icke, pretty much like the people who follow, again, as I said yesterday, Trump, those people who have a UCI loaded with a negative Sagittarius or wrong aspect to Jupiter, the Lord who regulates foreigners, foreign affairs, foreign land, and religion, which means anytime Trump about this, anytime he talks about this, he's getting himself a deeper hole, and his legacy is going to be just devastating for the rest of the world, and it's already in action. I hate to give you this type of prediction, but hey, you see who is right. All right, there is always a reaction to any actions, and that's not good what's going on, because our president is infected. Anything that comes out of his mouth is negative. Anything that comes out of your mouth is negative. Then you are infected. Accept the fact that I include me when I'm negative and I feel insecure or I feel bombed for what happened to me. I'm infected to a certain level. Every one of us is infected. Not only the Queen of England or Obama, as David wants you to believe. There's much more behind it. Now, I should add that David Wilcock and Corey Gould have been a tremendous disappointment on account of their distribution of a Hollywood film script and exploiting the vulnerability and naivety of those who just want to believe. And that's just the way it is. Again, David Wilcox and Corey Gould have been chosen by the reptilians to be at the top so they can hypnotize you with their scientific perception of the world, knowing that none of those two guys have cosmic consciousness, including David Icke. David Icke has built it with me, but he doesn't still have it. He's not one of my students who spend a week, 7 hours a day to master God cosmic design. All right, so that's pretty much a tremendous disappointment for a lot of people who don't know better. They just want to believe. They're being fed for years by those who have the power, those who control the information. They ain't going to invite me. Imagine that if I was invited on Ancient Alien and started to make predictions that comes to pass, like I'm doing right now with you. Imagine that. I'll steal the show, so they're not stupid. In fact, I meet this guy who looks like Einstein. I forgot his name now. I met him, and he spoke to me in French. I was asking where George Norrie was. I was just painfully dragging myself, trying to look for George and Tom. Trying to restructure our meeting because I couldn't go up the stairs or whatever. There was too much pain. So I saw him, and he spoke to me in full French. Oh, they just left. When I asked him, I said, "Well, have you seen them?" He said, "Oh, they just left. They're outside." Louis, in French. So that means he knows me. That means he heard about me. Of course, I'm all over the place from coast to coast for years. Has he ever invited me? No. Oh, I'm not technical enough. I'm not a scientist. I don't support or understand the UFO phenomenon the way they did. And sad enough, like all the people that he has invited, 99.9 of them never seen a UFO. Forget about talking to an extraterrestrial who give him dates for earthquakes. So you need to understand why people will not get you on their turf, because they feel insecure, and the reptilians are not going to do that. It's sad. I'm still shocked. It was somebody that I had really, really a lot of trust with, somebody that I love and respect. I really, really thought I was going to be doing the UFO conference. Sad enough, I'm not technical enough. I mean, there's another guy who was taking, everybody knows him, okay, in Arizona right here, cutting trees. I mean, is he technical when you talk about his UFO's experience? I mean, he was definitely taken by the reptilians. I was all along taken by the Draconis. The reptilians were just once when I was a kid. Okay, so I don't think it's fair, knowing that I have been spending all my life, running the world, giving all my wisdom, talking about my UFO experience with an incredible, well-designed, beautiful slide presentation, being turned down because I'm not technical. I'm still in shock. I'm still very upset. And I realize, sad enough, it looks like if those UFO promoters are also infected, they will not have me and will not give me the stage I deserve so I can reach you and explain to you the reptilians, their agenda. That's what's going on. That's why I rely only on you to help me. It's nobody else but you. Let's see where that's going to take me. All right, so let's be going here again. Pure materialism, yes, you're right, my friend. You're absolutely right, James. Pure materialism, rational and logic. Your message is very balanced, very neutral, and has quality and caring behind it. Well, that's me. And then I'm glad he can perceive that, and I'm glad you can perceive that. I'm very committed. It's not about me shining. I'm 70, nearly 70 years old. All I want to do is go fishing and relax and take it easy, okay? I'm past being famous. I'm past all that, because that is very unhealthy to run all over the world with bodyguard next to you, because you cannot even go and buy anything without, being you know, and under the jurisdiction of another crazy person who wants to gain fame by killing you. It's not healthy. I don't. It's not exactly fame that I want. I already have that to a certain degree. Believe me, a lot of people knows me. But it's not about an ego, selfish, self-satisfaction here. It's by giving you a honest reality to what's going on. And I have every single vicious negativity or reptilian stimulated against me so that I can reach you. I can only do it in a small way like it is now, but I won't quit. I will still do that for as long as I can to help you. Now, James says, I only wish we could converse one-to-one so you could share all that you know. Of course, that is definitely something that I've been asked so many times, and sometimes I turn people down because, you know, I could, this is why I do those videos, so I can reach more and more people. But, you know, I do take people face to face when they are interested in knowing they're on a connection with the divine. So I have to go really, really deep. Yesterday, I spent nearly 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours, I'm not sure, with a client. She was in New Zealand or Australia, I can't remember. But it takes a lot for me to share those information, and my time is precious. So there are some time exceptions, okay, where I ask people, okay, I give you my email, so that's a green light, you can connect me. But people have to understand my limitation as far as talking one-to-one with people. He says that he is extremely appreciative for what I provided here. Regardless, best wish from Aussie Mate. Beautiful, beautiful, incredible endorsement. And again, I thank you, James, Mr. James Brown, for doing so, for being applying your critical thinking, for understanding I'm real and committed, for understanding what's going on with the reptilians, doing all they can to stop me getting a wider stage. My time will come in time, hopefully before I get 90 years old. But you know, as I said earlier, only have you. So, and the word is spreading. Since I started those little video 3 months ago, I cannot complain. A lot of people have signed up. Maybe over 1,000 people have signed already. So it's getting there slowly but surely. Okay. All right. So now remember, as I said in the beginning on that newsletter associated with this video here, if I was right by giving you the date of July 2nd on Dr. G radio show and spoke about upcoming very large earthquakes in California at the 7.1 to 6.4 and all over the world since then, okay, including announcing that Mr. President will be going to North Korea, who mentioned it in his show well before the entire world knew about it. Okay? And if I was right all along, maybe you should pay more attention to my work. And obviously you are, if not, you wouldn't be listening. Okay. Now the idea is to be part of the solution and help me beat those damn reptilians, because I'm not making it up. It's real. The scientific community cannot understand, assimilate, or even accept this incredible veracity of what's going on with those entities. So psychical, so it is also physical for specific agenda. Again, I repeat myself. The Galactic Federation of Grand Universal Order is very clear. Not extraterrestrial have a will interfere with the human's affair. Now, the Draconians do all the time because they are not respecting the laws. Luckily for us, the Draconians are much more advanced. God, thanks for that. And what's going on Earth is nothing else than the ramification of a war that's taking place between the reptilians and the Draconians above your head. But that demands you to enter the archetypal realm of supracosmic consciousness. And you may not have been granted this access by the scheme of things through your UCI. Your UCI or your unique celestial identity may be just allowed to dwell with the physical manifesto and using your 5 rational human sense to try to understand something that's well above your head, and referring, of course, to the scientist now. Okay. You know, what's interesting about the scientific community, if you Google anything about science and pseudoscience, you end up with something like this. Sometimes a practice or a belief claims to be science, but does not follow specific criteria, okay? Or criteria that define true science include scientific experimentation, replication, and result, and peer review. Now, belief and claims that do not meet these criteria are called pseudoscience. Now, the question that I have is, years ago, I gave dates to the Seismologist Institute of Pasadena, to NASA, to USGS, for earthquake well above, and they were very rare during those days, okay? The acceleration, the quickening, like Art Bell used to say, was not as it is nowadays. A lot of things have changed, make it very hard for people to keep a straight head, not to get crazy or kill themselves or get depressed. That's why the pharmaceutical infected corporation are making so much money with their drugs, try to keep your head in control. So what I'm trying to say here, even with the facts in hand, dated, and you can read it if you click on the link. The scientific community now is not ready or willing to do the experimentation, to do, to get the proof of the replication of my results and the peer review from their peer. They will not do that. Why? It's still a mystery to me, because my timing is endlessly duplicated, replicated. And you are my peers because you are reviewing all those newsletters and listening to those videos. So you are actually doing the scientific experimentation. But the experts, who are usually the least knowledgeable on how to predict earthquakes, obviously, by the time that it'll move, it's too late. Okay, everything goes in your head, you die. Obviously. And that is because their egotistical, academical, educated pride. Another word, hey, I went to college for many, many years. I know better than you, so who are you, Mr. Astrologer? You're a pseudoscientist. And they assume they do not know the difference between education and intelligence. That is so saddening. It is actually mind-boggling that in 2019, the scientific community, and I know there is a lot of geologists and scientists, watching and listening to me, and they all are wondering how the hell I do it. I gave you the date of the 17th on the radio many weeks ago, and I said, be ready for an upsurge, seismic energy activity. And then here we are, the 17th. And now the facts are right there, right in front of your face. You have had in California a tremendous amount of seismologic activity on the 17th, as predicted by Dr. Turi. The point is, when they see prediction, they associate me, they lump me with psychics, not realizing that I use a software, different type of software. Okay? I understand a little bit more than they do. To them, the stars are something they can measure, weight, see, apprehend their movement in the solar or the universe, but to them they are dead rocks. That's terrible. That's mind-boggling to me. That's unprecedented. That those very educated people lack the perception that there is much more behind the end of their nose, because this is as far as they can see. and they want you to believe we're going to go to Mars. They are so consumed with the secret of all those constellations and faraway planets. And they know nothing at all of their local solar system, spiritual values, or what I call the soul of the cosmos. It is deplorable. The fact is, my friend, is the scientific community has never honored the very essence of the word science. And do the experimentation, realize the replication of results, and let their educated peer, do the review. Doing so will be so beneficial for all of us, because now by adding our brain together, the physical and the spiritual manifesto, the rational and the intuitive part of the human experience, well, we may be in time be able to find the location. Because my timing, here again, I proved to you on the 17th, is unarguable. It's very hard for me sometimes to see what I'm dealing with, the amount of stupidity. You cannot fix stupidity, I guess, even, you cannot fix it. I mean, I understand that those guys would have to sit for hours and hours and listen to all the radio show that I did in the past, giving you the date of the 17th or July 2nd, and then forever. And now those infected reptilians radio hosts of the past, I've removed some of the radio shows where I give exact date. Can you believe that? Well, the reptilians run the show. Yeah. And then for me to realize that the quotes of people like Einstein or Nikola Tesla, they're priceless, because those guys are so much more spiritual and so much more intelligent than all those kids, 30, 40, 45-year-old kids out there that think they have now discover earthquakes activity and how to predict earthquakes. That's all they dream to do. They never will, because they're going the wrong way. Okay. Now, when Nikola Tesla wrote this quote, "My brain is only a receiver in the universe. There is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration." He says, "I have not penetrated into the secret of this core, but I know that it exists." And you know what? He's real. He is right. It is exist. I understand myself. This core, I actually discover this core, and what an attribute for the scientific community to delegate my cosmic wisdom. No. And another quote that is interesting that Nikola Tesla wrote is, "If you want to know the secret of the universe, think energy, vibration, and frequency." And that's all of those planets were created for. By God, cosmic design speak to me, His divinity through the signs. They were not designed for idiot, educated scientists to develop a little robot to one day send you to Mars. You know my philosophy. My God, how easy it is to manipulate a 22-year-old wannabe astronaut ready to commit suicide, be used as a guinea pig by those corporations or trying to make money. It's just insane. Ask a 7-year-old or anybody out there doesn't have to be 70 years old, but somebody with a brain, with a good critical thinking, if he had to make a choice, would he go to Mars and live in a bubble? First of all, you're never going to go to Mars. And you know what? My forte, my gift is to read the future. But you know what? It makes money. It keeps those people out there stopping to ask you questions about the reptilians and their agenda to turn you into artificial intelligence, a dignified robot, soulless, not realizing God, cosmic design, or Jesus' initial cosmic ministry. They don't want you to know that. And the religious matrix is no better, because in that newsletter, you will also see that the pictures of all the Pope being taught astrology by the Vatican Council. They're using all this. This was stolen from us, stolen from your children. They're turning your children into religious fanatics or atheists. They are promoting a godless world, a world loaded with rationale, with science, with technology, which is beautiful. Don't get me wrong, when applied properly to save the human life, but not when it's applied for greed, manipulation, and then monetize the moon. Jesus, only billionaire, millionaire will be able to go there. Not you, not your children. You're nobody. You're like me. You're nothing. You don't have the peseta to do that. It's all manipulation, financially oriented. It's all about greed to captivate your mind so you stop looking for the truth. It's just insane. All right, let me give you another proof that astrology or astropsychology, forensic astrology, whatever you want to name it, is not a fake science. Okay, I'm gonna prove it to you one more time. Remember, I'm using Nostradamus 16th century divine astrology, no bodily astrology. Okay, so when you dwell with astrology, you have to remember primarily it's an art. It's a science, but it's also an art. It's a science because it has a structure which you know nothing about it. You never study it. So how can you say anything? You can only assume that that's being stupid. That's not being smart. That's not being intelligent. That's not using or applying your critical thinking appropriately. That's being an idiot, period. Now, understand that Nostradamus in the 16th century had to use very nebulous quatrain. And I understand that. Got to repeat myself. It may sound redundant for some of you who have followed me and for a long time now, and I thank you for that. But repetition is a must for the newcomers. So bear with me. Nostradamus used quatrains, then he used keywords, just quatrain, because he wanted to keep his head on his shoulder. Okay? Now, very different in 2019. Well, not exactly. There's a lot of people out there who want to see me burning on the stake because I practice the work of the devil. Got a bunch of idiots. These are the ones who needs me the most. And they're the ones who are really fiercely attacking me and stopping me posting on Facebook or anywhere else for that matter. Those who managed to remove me from wherever I was in the past. But I'm coming back. I was able to go back on LinkedIn. Well, the numbers are coming up. A lot of people are looking for the truth. All right, so the quatrains are very honest, very direct. Okay, I'm not going to bother to read the quatrain because it is on the newsletter. And I'm not going to bother reading all the keywords, obvious keyword. But those keywords mention France, celebrities, NASA, space news, stunning news, shocking news, children, discovery, earthquakes, technology, electricity, and so forth. So let's look at what happened on that collected news. Okay. Now, the window is for the 17th. However, the window always starts before and always lasts until the next window. Okay. This window has produced not only the 20 earthquakes, abnormal seismologic activity in California within the last 24 hours, but on the 17th as predicted, but also on July 15, a 6.2, on the 14, and on the 14, a 7.3 and a 6.6. So, and this window now is still operational. So there is a bunch of abnormal news, shocking news, technological news, NASA, all the keywords that I use right in your face, yet you haven't been taught to use your intuition, not just your 5 rational senses, okay? So Washington Monument transformed into an Apollo 11 rocket launch. It's in the news on the 17th. That's in your face. When I talk about NASA, when I talk about technology, when I talk about the cosmos, the next thing you see, on the news is Washington Monument being transformed into an Apollo 11 rocket launch. Hello? My brother agreed with me. I don't know if you heard him. All right. Check the latest compiled shocking news involving children in my latest newsletter yesterday. Okay. And today there is a little bit more also affecting the children. Not only one of my good friends, also daughter, had some problems and she fell. Mother was shocked. She had an accident. The reptilians are meant for children during this specific window. So let's see if my claims can be proven again and again and again. And believe me, they are being proven again, again, and again. There you go. 6 years old killed by a golf ball hit by her dad. Oh, it's just an accident. No, there are no accidents, only cosmic circumstances at work manipulated by the reptilians that will do anything to kill you. My information is so mind-boggling, so well ahead that I understand why the rational, down-to-earth, practical, scientific community cannot relate to me. But that's why I'm here, to challenge you. Let's see, anything else with kids? 17-year-old who announced cold draft picks died. Added to the amount of views involving kids, when I elaborated on my newsletter yesterday, you need to go back. If you didn't, and if you just jump here, you're not going to understand me. You're going to get out of here. So what's going on with this guy? And you're going to start to assume, and you're going to miss the boat. You got to do your homework. You got to use you got to do some mental gymnastic needed to understand me. Because I mean it. It's real. A girl was afraid of IVS, so she invented this beer. Oh, that beautiful. IVs, everybody's scared of IVs, especially kids. She invented this beer. Not as the draconis, stimulating the mind of a child to help other kids. Hello. Doesn't happen every day. It's on the news today. What else do we have? Thieves takes $9 from a girl's lemonade stand. And all the good people rely to give her more than $300. Again, the draconis fighting the reptilians, not only above your head, which you are totally, completely oblivious, but ramification are taking place on planet Earth. I don't know. There's no words in the English language that I can use to make you aware of such a thing, such a phenomenon. Yet I'm damn French, making it even more difficult. Oh my gosh, this gift and those UFO experience seems more than a curse than anything else. And I try to bypass the idiocy out there. Man caught with pound of cocaine under his toothpick. Excuse me. Honestly, do you think this type of news, shocking, mind-boggling news happen every day? No. People will do anything. I love it. I mean, some people just, they're stuck, stuff in their ass. Well, anything to pay their bills, I guess. That's how it works when the reptilians run the show. And it's so damn obvious, scary. Remains of 9,000-year-old Neolithic settlement unearthed outside Jerusalem. Now we're talking about discovery. Remember, those windows only reflect the very, very new or the very, very old. As far as the very, very new, we can take the example of this French inventor who flew, board, and wow, the world. I mean, you're talking, the keywords are clear. France, discovery, technology, and on the given window. I didn't know this guy was going to be flying, under the Eiffel Tower in my country on July the 14th. But I prepared you, right? My way, using my quatrain and my keywords. Got it? Hope you do. Wow. Professor accused of stealing a student invention. Now it tells you how the reptilians will stimulate the greed in somebody like David Icke, who saw the potential that I have. And then steal that invention, steal this intellectual property in order to shine. You know what? In 1995, I was a kid. I was stupid. I was not smart. He was obviously a little bit more refined than me, because being a Scorpio in the eighth house, Scorpio is the ultimate, most powerful sign of the zodiac. It's the engineer, is the FBI, the CIA of the zodiac, and Scorpio deals with other people's money. When you have that planet, Scorpio, controlled by Pluto, which is the base of the reptilians in our solar system, is not surprising that David Icke have sucked a lot, not only from me, but from a lot of people. But now it's time for the truth to come out. Well, after all those years. Yeah, that's an interesting example, but it's real. So this student will get what is right for him, and the sucker is going to go to jail where he belongs. Like David Icke should go there, because, you know, I'm so mad that he denies 9/11 and my prediction that I did on 9/11 a year before it happened. So printed, dated, published, and then most of all, the Sandy Hook drama and all these kids that died just to keep his, you know, his presence, just to keep you into your fear of not trusting the government or power like he does, and manipulating you in the process, like President Trump does, you know, by making you aware that you're going to be invaded by all the foreigners, you know, like he does. And when you have this Scorpio in the eighth house, you're bound to lose. I didn't know as much as I know today about the power of manipulation. Wherever you have Scorpio in your chart, you must do or you must die. One of the two. And it's all about, as far as David is concerned, sucking the power and stimulating fears all over the world. It is definitely reptilian infected. And I knew it, and I knew it. And even I wrote about it before Draco entered my life. At the subconscious level, I knew he was doing damage. They stopped him. The Draconis stopped him, and I predicted it. If you watch my video, that's the day I predicted my mother's death. I said the beginning or the end of important phases of life will happen today. And David was stuck in the airport in Los Angeles beaching because the government, some really, really powerful people will realize that the Holocaust really took place. And so is Sandy Hook, and so is 9/11. Okay, they decided to put an end to his stupidity, to his manipulation, to stipulating fears, because the reptilians own him, his body, his mind, and his soul. It's all about greed now and maintaining his popularity. Understand. Elon Musk is making implants to link the brain with his smartphone. Okay, wow, why not investing, you know, in science and make money like he doesn't have enough with the billions of dollars? This is insane. You know, when I tell you we are slowly moving into an artificial intelligence that's going to take over, maybe when you see news like that, when you read about this, you know, in a few years when it'll be impossible to retract, you're going to remember me and say, oh my gosh, Dr. Turi was right all along. My gosh. And what really, really pisses me off is some people who could give me a bigger voice are not doing it because I'm not technical enough. I'm probably one of the real, very, very real people who have legitimate connection with extraterrestrials and a lot of experience since I'm a child. Being turned down is so upsetting. But you know what? The reptilians have to do what they have to do, because I know the Draconis at the end are going to take over. We're not going to end up in hell. We're already on hell. Making it worse every single day until the junction comes in. And that's another show. All right, so same sucker who's investing in the moon. All right, plane makes emergency landing on beach again. All right, luckily for this guy, he probably was under his one of his positive 2019 positive cosmic biorism. But, you know, I mentioned aeronautics, and shocking, surprising, it's not every single day that you have a plane that make an emergency landing on a beach. Yes or no? Again, see giant jellyfish the size of a human. Okay, again, the same old story. It's not every single day that you're going to see a jellyfish the size of a human. And some, if you watch Discovery Channel like I do, they're discovering things that were totally out of the order. It's all stimulated by both the reptilians and the draconis. Rare Apollo 11 document could sell for millions. It will sell for millions, of course, because they need to support their agenda. NASA, okay? The true spirit of NASA is all about peseta, you know? The kids of those kids of those kids, or are their parents are the one who was stimulated by the reptilians to make those atomic bombs, okay? And then under it, you have the islands more radioactive than Chernobyl. And I was there. Jesus, thank you, the reptilians, for making me fall. I remember some of the guys there. Says, my daughter, she's just born. I keep bringing her nonstop to the hospital. And the locals telling me the same thing. You know, children die, very upset. You know, they cannot plant potatoes over there on those atolls. So porous, okay? So all this nuclear waste goes in the ground. They go in the ground and they pollute the fish. And then you see what happened. By now, I could have cancer again had I stay over there, but the reptilians knew I'm too precious, maybe with my message, and they decided to make me fall out of a machine and mess my back and mess my hip. So I stay away from all this experiment that they were doing there still, okay? And then also with this nuclear waste, and I was swimming in that ocean on this area. I was swimming. You see the video? They are there. You could look at me swimming in the Marshall Islands. My gosh, it's a miracle. Now I realize that accident was a blessing in these guys. I had no freaking clue. God thanks, I'm protected. Oh my God. There are no major US airport named for women. She wants to change that. I mean, I mentioned the word airport too, and she's going to change it. Good. Good for her. Stunning image from NASA. First 60 years. NASA released never seen before videos. Again, NASA. I mean, my keyword is NASA. My friends, you know what? I don't know. In all honesty, I do not know what I have to do to reach the scientific community and make them aware that God, cosmic divinity, the soul of the cosmos, and their perception of the planet is real and is wrong at the same time. Perception of God, cosmic divinity, is definitely real. The perception of the planet is definitely wrong. They're not just dead rock hanging out there for the sake of beauty, my friends. There's so much more above your head going on, and you have no idea because nobody is telling you, because they don't know. You got to land of a crazy lunatic like Dr. Turi. I'm going to get you to think well past the normal range and make you aware of the immense possibility of the incredible, which is part of our human experience. All I can ask you again, my friends, is please be part of the solution. Do not keep that wisdom for you. Do not keep my warning for you. Don't be afraid. Just take a chance to work with the draconis, even if people say you're crazy. Don't be insecure. Push what you feel in the bottom of your heart, of the bottom of your soul is real. And if you feel unreal, again, be part of the solution. Help me. And if you don't, because of your fear of the ridicule, or your religious indoctrination, or your scientific conviction, but at least realize that you are reptilian infected. And it's not going to get better for you in the long run. All right. I'd like to finish by saying that um, I am offering a $700 face-to-face Skype reading if you decide to join us in my UFO conference in October. So I think you have another few weeks, but the numbers are going down, which means it's only 5 people. So what, it's 3 left. So you may want to, don't wait too long. Mention my name, follow the direction. It's in the news, in the newsletter. Meet me in Tirana. Get to talk to me. If you have any problems, emotionally, physically, spiritually, believe me, when I do my light hypnotic trances, you're going to see the power of Draco. And within the weeks that follow that, you're going to be back right here and saying to me, Dr. Turi, you were so right. Something like this happened to me. I can't believe this. The energy of those days are special. And it's not an accident for all of us. With so very different repertoire of wisdom, totally unique, very different repertoire of wisdom to meet on the same ship. No accident. Join us. And remember, it is only when you participate, when you socialize, when you're part of a group, when you go out, that your most wild dream and wishes can be granted. So if you feel anything, or if you like the extraordinary, I'll be there and I'll be waiting for you. Until then, my good friend, God willing, we shall see you again. Share this video. Give me a little note. Tell me what you think about it. Just take a second. Write to me. I'll answer you. All right? Until then, make it a beautiful day. Bye-bye.